So I spent over 40 hours to beat this game. And I think half of it was actually in the beginning, because this game doesn't really tell you anything, so you have to discover it all yourself. So I went and did the beginning again and again to figure out the best way to progress past the beginning. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that in this video. Now this is where you're gonna start. The secret to discovering good places like here and here is to make sure that you go out about 150 distance on the coordinates. 155, 154. Farmer is 151x away. Over here has some pretty decent loot that you need at 140. Same over here at about 150-ish. And up top at about 150 is gonna be an infected village that you have to get. You might think that the farther you go, the better the resources. So that's what I thought. But the surface level only has iron and copper, and it's randomly generated. So the same amount of iron and copper up here is gonna be around here. I think Barbarian's probably the best. There's a tutorial right here, so I'm only going to show you stuff that the tutorial doesn't show you. To open close the doors, you use space. And in your inventory, if you want to split something, you hold shift and then left click. If you want to throw in the garbage, you hold control and then left click. But you can take it out the last thing. This box right here is the only thing that you can click on, and it's really important. Go to the uninhibited island to get some extra loot. You can also take the storage chest with you. The stuff that I see doesn't multiply, so you have to keep collecting them a lot. But mushrooms will actually multiply, so you can plant these and they will just grow into infinite. So you could get 1,000 just from having one. You want about 6 rows here for your workbenches and stuff. And you want all your berries and apples to be in a 5x5, because later you get a fruit harvester that you put in the middle and it grabs everything for you. Whenever you walk next to a flower, make sure you get it, because these flowers don't multiply or grow. But you need about 150 of them to get enough nectar. Next to a formation of rocks, make sure you hug it, because then you can see if there's copper or iron. When you hear mining like this, that means close by there's a goblin that is going for copper. And we go over here and we struck gold here. Normally you wouldn't get this. At most you get about this much early on. And pay close attention to where you put your mouse, because you could hit a lot at once if you place it correctly, like right here. Wooden furniture workbenches are really good early on. They let you get wood fence, which turns 1 wood into 3 fences, which can actually be used for battle and not just for building. And put it on the fast tool on 4 or 5 so you can click on it fast or press on it. Make sure you always fight these guys at night, because they could drop the location of the infected village that you need to find. These are really important. You have to get 5 nectars to get 1 beehive, which then will multiply into infinite nectars. So don't waste them by eating them. So you would make wooden armor and then make some leather out of monster skin to make leather armor, gloves, and shoes. The sword is actually the best weapon for the first boss, so I'm gonna make it. So I found my first useful place, and it's at Y150-ish. Every single day, the shop owners will always restock what's in front. And I stuck to being at around the Y150, and already I found another useful place really quickly. Giant wheat is really nice because it's both a seed and the plant, so it can multiply infinitely, so you only need to buy 10. And make sure you're always hitting these boxes. They could give you food. Don't exchange early. You need to collect your resources and have them grow. Once you have like 100 of each, you could start giving it to these, and then they'll give you gene modules, which makes the replica. And now once I'm around 150, I find another useful place. This one is gonna give us all the livestock that we need. Every day they restock again. It's really early, so I kind of found these too early. I need to sell some things to actually buy them, so I'm just gonna sell the pistol. And all the buffs, you don't really need them to win. The early money is much more important than those. And here's the beehive. I need 3 more copper, and I can buy beehive from her. You gotta memorize these recipes because there's no place to actually like just save them. And what you need to know about the gene modules, almost everything will drop some special stuff that you can only use in here. That's why you want to farm everything, even cactuses that will only give wood, but they give stingless cactus. And that's why you need to farm them. And don't forget to click on knowledge. Knowledge is special because there's a very small number of them and they're all very strong. So if you can, look over the recipe and try to prioritize it. This guy had a copper anvil, so you can legitimately just use his furnace and smelt it to get yourself 3 copper. Something I didn't pick up on pretty much ever. you can click on this right here, which is Quickstack to nearby chest, and it'll stack all the items that are already in there with items you have in your inventory. Once you killed a couple of things, weird fruit early on is going to be your best way to get satiety, and then sweet ham when you're breeding the pigs. So all you have to do is put these in. You don't have to worry about it much because you can move them around. You can even take them out. You never lose them. Once you make them, you have them. And I'm gonna plant a little extra mushrooms more than the other crops because they're easy to get early and you can plant them into the farms and most of the animals will eat anything, including mushrooms. Chicken will have to use grass. I tested this. I feed chicken giant wheat, they would not breed. But I put all the other animals into the same place with giant wheat and they all bred. The game will tell you to feed the animals with this. But that means that you have to manually do it. So what I do is I plant the food on the ground after I discovered that the animals will actually just eat grass and stuff laying around. So if you plant the seed, they'll grow infinitely. The animal will automatically eat them once they grow and then they breed. And you don't have to do a single thing besides kill the pig after they grew a lot. I'm pretty sure over here is going to be an infected village and you want to engage them pretty early on, almost as soon as you find them, because then they give you access to a lot more copper ore. And here's where the wooden fences come in. So right now, these guys are pretty annoying to deal with because you're not that strong. You can get a lot stronger with some iron once you get down to the next level. So what I can do here is I can hug the wall, make them chase me, and then just corner them in like that. Oh, whoops. So the thing is, you can't have like a small gap like that with fences or else they walk through. And then you can even do this just to get their chest. That will give you copper in case you need like a cup of copper for that first weapon. So before engaging the final boss, you're either gonna want to kill all of these guys or trap them. See, these guys, even with a copper sword, they're gonna take like 5 hits and they hit really hard. So instead, I would just block them off like that. And now I don't have to worry about them. And these guys don't drop anything really good. I'm gonna run away here because I don't want to have to 1v3 them. And the boss, I think, should stop once we're out of sight. And I'm just gonna trap this guy here. Kill this guy. When it's a 1v1, the boss is actually really easy. Make sure you're in open space because you need to circle around him. Alright, this should be good enough. So the trick is to make sure you're always behind him when he does his attack thingy. So when he stops, go behind him and then he will never hit you. You can walk through them because there's no hitbox on the enemy. And if he does that, you have to keep moving forward. Never move backwards. I don't know how I got hit there. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird. But you can actually take 1 to 2, well, 2 to 3 hits. So it's okay. You just use your bandage. And if your bandage isn't up, then you can just run away. Oh. That was close. I think 50% of the time you do get a human village sometimes when he dies, which is really good because it could have like 3 professions all in one place. So getting there could give you 3 small villages worth of things. And make sure you pick this up because this will give you access to a lot more iron and copper. Even with a stone club, it's only half as strong as the copper, so you would have to do what I did, but twice as much. Now, before you go down, make sure you build the shelter signal tower because this gives you a ton of money. And the reason I put it in this little corner is that I'm gonna trap all of the survivors. They don't do anything besides get happy and then give you money. And the secret to doing this is that you would build a couple of things. So you want all that wood just for a public hot spring. Put it right in the middle. All the survivors are gonna start using that. They're gonna get happy really fast, giving you money. Oh, there we go, lettuce. Having lettuce, apple, and berry will give you all the HP that you need. So here you need to put the flowers all around the beehive. And I found just enough flowers for 24. Now, this is where you put the ball that you got from the boss in. And then you make a chemistry workbench. So you go down these stairs here. So the trick is to just walk around and pay very close attention. In the dark, iron will be lighter. These are all stone. And copper is a little bit yellow. Oh, iron right there. Make sure to get the coordinates of these guys. Once you use a sickle on something, the seed remains. So you don't have to replant them after you pick them up. Now, what happens is that if you use the sickle on grass that you haven't planted, it looks like it completely disappears. But the next day, it's actually going to come back with the seed intact. And then you can just use your axe or pickaxe on it and you get the seed. What I like to do is I just mark the places that I went and sickled, because you have to kind of come back later. And then I get free seed that way to feed the chicken. This is the only reason to do this would be for chicken. And these goblins will give you your next huge power up. Ooh, this one's strong. So because of those guys with the huge swing, your next iron weapon should actually be a spear, so you can outrange those guys. After you save them, you have to go back to the antenna and give them the coordinates to come here. There we go. Now we have 2 guys. Make sure they don't leave. If they leave and wander around, they won't get happy. So if you keep them in this facility with all the stuff, they'll use it and get happy. Just think of them as another farm animal. You have to find these, but you shouldn't really challenge them right now until you get the pet collar, which will make it a lot easier because then you're gonna have a tank. Alright, this should be perfect. They have 3 activities and all of the bathroom utilities. And you want to make sure you go to these red things, because that means there's goblins there. Perfect. Once you start seeing stuff like these on the map, that's gonna be a goblin village, and that's gonna help a lot. So go ahead and try and fight them one by one if possible. Oh, there we go. Pet color. This is exactly what you want. I'm gonna try to get 2 since I'm already here, because you're gonna be able to use 2 pets at once. There we go, 2 pet colors. And there's a really simple trick to getting pets easily. Go to an undiscovered area, because there's gonna be a lot more units there that you haven't killed yet. And you want to find one that's really tanky and one that's really fast. So right here, it's gonna be a tanky one. And you just trap it like this. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. And it's actually got really good range. So you can do it from all the way over here, super safe. It's at 60%, so I could fail here. Alright, I didn't fail. That's good. I'm gonna make a passive, which gives him more defense. So he's gonna be the tank, and click on growl. So that he is gonna be... Ooh! Wait. Passive. Okay, I made him passive so he doesn't kill my... Ah, shoot. Press the wrong thing. So he doesn't kill the leopard. The leopard's really rare. I actually only found 1 leopard in my last run. So this is insane. 80%, not bad. No! Dang it, I only had 2 colors. Alright, I got 2. That should be more than enough. Sweet, second try. And you can check the information. He's attack enhanced, which kind of sucks, because I preferred if he was speed enhanced since he's mount. The mount can't attack. And this is why I've been planting giant wheat. They turn to pet food, which is the best food for the pets. And I didn't know about this for like several hours, so I never was able to heal my guys that much. But you can drag this thing and set it up to 70%, so that when they get below 70%, they automatically eat and heal up to full health during a fight. And another thing about Ship's Lab is that you want to go here every day, because he also, like any other merchant, restocks. And the most important thing is Rifter Stone. So many times I would have to run back to the base, but with Rifter Stone, you instantly teleport back to base. The reason I haven't been getting it is because it costs 160 each, and I had no money for that. But now I can get it every day. The same thing applies to these primordiums. If you sickle them, they'll come back and have seed that you can gather and replant at your base. And finally, I can get the iron fruit harvester. You put it down and then you just right click on it, and it gets everything in a 5x5. It's ridiculously good. And with my beehive, I can make sweet ham. And sweet ham is huge because it has protein 1 effect, which increases your max health by 30. All the blue ones will do something like this, and they all stack with each other that you're gonna need when you fight that boss, because he is huge. So you see here 110 to 140. And that's why I planted so much mushrooms, because pet food requires 5 compared to 1 giant wheat. So I've entered one of those mystery entrances. This guy is the biggest reason why you need a tank and a mount, because... Uh-oh, am I gonna die? What the heck? These guys are insanely strong. If my ogre didn't have the constant supply of healing, he would already be dead. And then that guy would like 2-shot me. There we go. And the first one you want is the mystery skill box. There's only one good mystery pet, which is the dog. The dog will give you a storage system that is equal to yours, so it doubles how much things you could carry. So I'm gonna get that later. It's better than leopard. But if I don't have a skill, then I can't use my mana, which is kind of waste. Oh, this one's pretty cool. Flame Javelin. And you can find another mystery portal to get 2 skills at once, or another pet. The human villages helps get replica gene modules a lot easier. So this guy wants wheat, and I have plenty of wheat, so I get it. And then I get a module from this guy, 2 protectors. And at this point, I should talk about bonuses. So for early on, obviously, you can kind of just make anything and put it in, since you don't really have much choices. But once you get to this point, the strongest thing I recommend is hunter stuff. Once you get 3 of a hunter thing, your pet's feeding effect becomes plus 50%. So instead of 30% healing, they heal for almost 50% of their health. And the game becomes a lot easier. When I played, I didn't think about this at all, and I died to bosses at least like 24 times. Until I finally figured this out, and they became a lot easier. So once you trade enough stuff for gene modules with the villagers in the human village, you go here and then you click on this and you put these stuff in. Now the trick is that if you put anything on a 2x, then it will double its effectiveness. So for example, this thing, attack speed increased by 7%. You put it on a half, it decreases by half. So this guy is actually really bad. Never choose this guy. Oh, actually this guy only has 3, but this is a lot better. This is 2x, so 7% becomes 14%. And if you put a small one on it, it's the same. So it's better to always put a big one so that you get a better multiplier. I've actually seen a replica that has 2 times 2 and the other 2 be 1.8 and 1.8. So if you could try and wait for that, that would be the best. And it just takes some waiting. So mine's this one, and I'm pretty sure this one's a times 2, and I put a big 3 on it. So it's increased by 72. And this one over here, also a 3x invasion, 22.6%. And you're gonna use all of the same stuff later on as well. All the wheat, mushrooms still, and a couple extra things that you get at the lower levels. And just to show you guys how much more money the tenants can give, 415 right there. Yeah, so it looks like they all cap out at around 400. Also, if you have enough circuit boards, you could use ore detectors, which will light up the ores. But you can still see them in the dark as well, so they're not really necessary if you pay close attention. And what I like to do is put the miner lift literally right here. So when I want to go underground, I can just teleport through a portal and then just go here. There's gonna be new bosses at 5 to 9, 10 to 14, and 15 to 19. So this is literally just the beginning. And it took me 3 hours to get here. So right now I'm using the most advanced version of the ore detector, the super ore detector. Normally it only detects one thing, one ore, and it doesn't detect these extra ones. It detects copper ore, which looks like that, and iron ore, which looks like that, and I died. Yeah, anyways guys, that was the beginning. It took me 3 hours, but on my first run, I'm pretty sure that took me between 15 to 20 hours because I had to literally learn everything by myself and died so many times doing so. So yeah guys, this is the beginner guide that I wish I saw before I played this game, but it didn't exist, so here it is. Your farm should look something like this, your pets something like this. And now the real action begins when you kill the Goblin King plus 3 more bosses. And then the man in white that we saw at the beginning. So I hope this helps guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.